Flight 310 could refer to a fictional or real story about an airplane, but without more details, it's unclear what you're specifically asking about. Here's a brief fictional story inspired by the idea of a mysterious flight. Title: Flight 310, A Journey Beyond. It was a routine flight from New York to London. Flight 310, operated by Skylight Airlines, was carrying 180 passengers and crew. The skies were clear, and Captain Emma Rivers was confident it would be a smooth journey. 2 hours into the flight, as the plane cruised at 3,500 feet, the radar in the cockpit picked up something unusual. An unidentified object flying at incredible speed. Moments later, turbulence rocked the plane and the passengers gripped their seats in fear. Suddenly, the plane's instruments went haywire. Communications with ground control were lost, and the sky outside turned a strange, glowing green. Captain Emma and her co-pilot, Liam, struggled to keep the plane steady. "We've entered some kind of anomaly," Liam muttered, staring at the glowing lights outside. The passengers panicked as the plane seemed to enter a vortex. Then, as quickly as it began, the turbulence stopped. The plane emerged into a calm, eerily quiet sky. But something was wrong. The stars looked unfamiliar, and the moon was nowhere in sight. Captain Emma managed to re-establish communication, but the voice on the other end sounded strange. "This is Earth Control, identify yourself," said the voice. "This is Flight 310 en route to London," Emma replied. There was a long pause before the voice said, "Flight 310 disappeared 50 years ago. Welcome back." The passengers and crew realized they had somehow traveled through time, into a world where their flight had become a legend. Now they had to navigate a future they didn't belong to, unraveling the mystery of their journey and finding a way back home. Here's a more detailed and suspenseful version of Flight 310-10, A Journey Beyond. Title: Flight 310, A Journey Beyond. The cabin of Skylight Airlines Flight 310 hummed with the quiet sounds of air travel. Laughter from a family in row 14, the rhythmic tapping of keys from a business traveler in first class, and the occasional ding of the seatbelt sign created a symphony of routine. The flight, bound for London from New York, carried 180 passengers and crew, each lost in their own world. At the helm were Captain Emma Rivers and her co-pilot Liam Cotter. Emma, a seasoned pilot with over 15 years of experience, leaned back in her chair, sipping coffee. Liam studied the glowing instruments in front of him. The sky was clear and the flight was smooth. A pilot's dream. "Almost boring," Liam joked, stretching. Emma smiled. "Don't jinx it." 2 hours into the flight, everything changed. The first sign was a soft beep from the radar, a signal indicating an object closing in fast. Emma frowned and leaned forward. "Unscheduled traffic?" she muttered, scanning the screen. The radar showed a blip moving erratically. Before she could process it, turbulence hit. It wasn't the usual gentle shake, but a violent jolt that sent drinks spilling and passengers gasping. Oxygen masks dangled from above as the plane shuddered. "What's going on, Hashi?" Liam asked, gripping the controls. "Something's interfering with our instruments," Emma replied, her voice calm but tight. Outside, the clear sky darkened. replaced by a swirling green light that engulfed the plane. The air seemed alive, crackling with energy. Emma's training kicked in as she fought to stabilize the aircraft, but the controls felt sluggish, as if the plane was moving through water. "We've lost contact with ATC," Liam shouted, trying to reestablish communication. Suddenly, the turbulence stopped. The plane was eerily still, suspended in a silent, glowing void. The green light outside pulsed rhythmically, casting an unearthly glow on the passengers' terrified faces. "What the hell is this?" Emma whispered. The radar went blank. The engines hummed steadily, but nothing else made sense. When Emma finally managed to reconnect with a frequency, a strange voice answered. "This is Earth Control. Identify yourself." "This is Flight 310, en route from New York to London," Emma replied, her voice trembling slightly. A long silence followed. "Repeat your flight number," the voice demanded. 310, Emma said firmly. The voice hesitated, then spoke slowly, as if processing the impossible. "Flight 310 disappeared 50 years ago. You're not supposed to be here." Emma's stomach dropped. Liam stared at her in disbelief. Around them, the passengers murmured in panic as the reality sank in. Somehow, they had traveled decades into the future. The plane emerged from the glowing void into a night sky that looked alien. The stars were scattered differently, and the horizon glowed faintly with artificial light. Below, unfamiliar landscapes stretched endlessly, a world that had evolved without them. As Earth Control scrambled to piece together the mystery, Emma and Liam struggled to keep the crew and passengers calm. Questions swirled. What had caused the anomaly? Could they return? Or were they trapped in this strange future forever? While the passengers mourned the lives they had lost to time, Emma's mind raced. She needed answers, and she needed them fast. The glowing vortex that had brought them here might still be out there, but was it a doorway home? Or a deeper trap, waiting to ensnare them further? Flight 310's journey was no longer about reaching London. It was about survival, discovery, and the hope of finding their place in a world that had moved on without them.